Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're doing the ECMWF extended look at for UK and Ireland for today's second video. So this is your EC 46 day slash 6 week look at. I should get on it for you in a moment. Just say that first video was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, got weekend forecast and take the morning day coming later on today. Please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. So thank you so much to ECMWF.int for supplying the charts as well, by the way. Thank you so much, EC. Right, we're going to start off with week one. Mean cell pressure dynamic for next week from the 6th to the 13th of November. By the way, this gets us to the run-up towards Christmas, actually. We get to the 18th of December with this. Can you believe it? Next week we'll get to Christmas Day, I think. Wow. But anyway, get ahead of myself. So week one mean cell pressure dynamic 6th to 13th of November, dominated by low pressure. Surprise. Surprise, low pressure dominates across northern and west Europe and into the Atlantic as well. 500 millibar heights also looking very unsettled with a deep below average heights low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic into northern and also western parts of Europe. So the temperature anomaly next week is coming out slightly below average for the UK and Ireland, a little bit on the cooler side and wetter than normal as well. So, it's just another wet week, really. Wet wicket, isn't it? The deluge goes on. Right, in week two, which is the 13th, 20th of November, this is how things are looking. Still dominated by low pressure out in the Atlantic, possibly raising heights a little bit towards Spain and Portugal. Let's try and get something a bit drier into the south, but basically I think we're still dominated by low pressure there. And we might be starting to bring up some southwesterly air though, so it might be getting a little bit warmer. We'll have a look at the temperature anomaly in a moment. 500 millibar heights. Yeah, you can see that ridge from the Azores high just building towards Spain and Portugal, starting to shift below pressure trajectory just a little bit further northwards. So that might start to dry out a bit down across southern counties. Temperature anomaly. It does lift up the week two, goes averages ever so slightly above, especially for more western and southwestern regions. And precipitation-wise, yes, we're still looking wetter than average for the UK and for Ireland, for most parts of Europe as well, away from the southwest. So the deluge goes on for another week. Right, week three will be the 27th of November. How's this one looking? Oh, look, it's still unsettled. Low pressure remains in control of the weather out in the Atlantic. And the 500 millibar heights, I suspect they're going to be unsettled too. Yes, they are. Trough of low pressure again, close to the UK and to Ireland as well. But temperature anomaly goes ever so slightly above average. It's not a particularly big deviation, but we are almost slightly milder than average side better. And also there's a bit of a recovery temperature taking place after a coolish sort of opening here. And still looking rather wetter than normal as well, with above average rainfall. So on and on it goes, doesn't it? Right, well, we're going to get some drier weather soon. Let's see if week four yields something a bit drier. This 27th of November, 4th of December. Not really. Trough of low pressure remains centred over top of the UK and Ireland, albeit it's a slightly weaker signal because we're further out now, but basically that low pressure is still sitting there in the North Atlantic and over the UK and Ireland as well. What's the temperature normally do? It's no better than average. Actually, it's dropped slightly. It is a bit cooler than average out in the Atlantic. Most parts of Europe looking quite mild, though, I have to say. It's bound to be another wet week, I think. Let's see. Yep, well, it's a weaker signal, but still hinting at above average rainfall. So even into December, the wet weather goes on. Right, week 5 will be before to the 11th of December. Here we go. And weaker still, but still with low pressure really in the Atlantic, possibly as the driving and dominating factor. Again, we have the trough of low on the 500 millibar height, sitting just out to our west again. the temperature anomaly is milder as we get into the beginning of into the early part of December, I should say. We're going a lot milder there. Big lift up in temperature and still wet, still wet as we go through into week 5. Right, well, week 6 gets us towards the run up to Christmas. Here we go. And low pressure just dominates again. Is it ever going to end? Are we ever going to get a break? Look at this. Big low pressure in the Atlantic into the UK and Ireland. 500 millibar heights. Again, we see that the trough is there just to our west once more. Temperature anomaly is close to or a little bit above average, especially so just to our east. And it's going to be wet again, I suspect. There we go, above average rainfall across most parts of Western Europe. I mean, it's 6 weeks out, so it's a long way out. Therefore, the signal is, you know, a little bit weaker than it would be for sort of week 1. But nevertheless, we see that most of Western and Northern Europe, at least, is hinted at to be on the wet side. So the deluge goes on. The EC model is seeing no sign of an end yet to the deluge. So even into December, even into the run up to Christmas, it looks like we've got plenty more rain to come. Maybe just a snapshot of what model is showing, so it could be wrong and it could look completely different when we look at it again next week on Tuesday for the wider European outlook, or next Saturday for the UK and Ireland focus video. But for now, but today, it looks like the ECMWF model is very, very wet. Oh dear. Well, we'll be back later on the weekend forecast at a 10 to 14 day. Keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one, that's all for now. And thanks so much.